Hi, I'm Bukeka. I'm the B.
And I'm Enolia, and I'm the E.
Together, we are Be Empowered.
The universe is calling, calling, calling. The universe is calling me to be. The universe is calling me to love beyond my boundaries. The universe is calling me to be. It's calling me to listen more, talk less, and hold the light. The universe is calling me to be.
We believe that deep in our souls, we hold conversations, but for whatever reasons, we do not always take the opportunity to speak from our hearts.
We want you to imagine that you're sitting right here with us now, sipping a cup of tea or coffee at our dining room table, and we're having that conversation. You know, the one that encourages, inspires, and motivates you to the infinite possibilities that your life has to offer.
Let us help you to expand your imagination, to create your beautiful dream into reality. It starts right here and right now, because the universe is calling you to be.
The universe is calling me to sing into the heavens. The universe is calling me to sing. Oh, to sing like I have never sung in all my given lifetimes. The universe is calling me to sing. The universe is calling, calling, calling. The universe is calling me to be. The universe is calling, calling. The universe is calling me to be. It's calling me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Be Empowered. I'm here with my wonderful friend Enolia, and we are so excited to be with you today. And Enolia, I am so excited to be with you today as well, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing so well, Bukeka. It's so great to hear your beautiful, lovely voice. You are looking absolutely fantastic. For those who can't see her, she looks good. And look at that gorgeous smile. So I am here. I am ready to go. I am excited to be talking to our studio audience today. So what is our topic today, Bukeka?
Let me tell you, honey, it is let's grow through from what we go through. Let's,
Say it again. That is so powerful. You have to say it again.
yes, we are here to grow through what we go through. Isn't that the
Yes,
truth?
we are. It is so true in so many different levels. I mean, where do we even begin?
That's a good question. We have this life where we are having days where everything is going amazingly smooth. And then we have those moments where we're really having to experience growth and development. And it could be in any number of topics. It can be in our relationships, it can be in our work, it can be in different elements of those things, whether we are working with technology or whether we are working on keeping our environments beautiful and clean. It just all kinds of ways that we are able to grow. But when we're growing, we're going through it.
Yes, we are. And I'll tell you, I'm sitting here thinking about different situations and scenarios where I'm facing adversity or I'm facing a situation that I know good and well it triggers me, or I know good and well I have not a clue what to do. And we have to grow through that situation. We have to navigate through it. And part of that navigation is, can we do it without being a bull in a china closet? Which means hurting everybody that we come in contact with, or who we have to speak with, or are we able to navigate through with grace and ease and a civility that says, okay, you know what, you might be full of emotions and you might be coming at me with your emotional state, but I can do this. I can move right through this. And then to look back at the situation, learn the lessons, and then be able to say, you know what, I've grown from this. I know what not to do as well as what to do if it ever repeats itself.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes we know exactly that those opportunities or those situations are going to repeat themselves. I'm just going to give you my yesterday. Okay. So,
Okay.
yesterday I was in a position to learn about technology, social media, certain things like that. And this might seem small, but when you're in it or you're doing it for a reason that's big, these little things can be really big. So I'm going through a situation where I'm trying to do a Facebook ad. I'm going through a situation where I'm trying to host a room for a meeting, right? And the technology or the growth in just those little things was really getting frustrating to me. And I knew I had a choice. I could either be emotional, frustrated. I could be mad at the computer or upset that I don't know what I don't know. Or I can take a deep breath in and begin to really pace myself and find information or call people to help me go through what I was definitely growing through, right? And even though it seems small, in those moments where you're doing it for something that is large and meaningful, it can really be, it's a really important opportunity to notice where you are so that when you do have those big things that happen, those people that are in your face, like you said, or when other challenges come, you've got some practice by doing it, by going through those little things.
You are so, so right. You named a little thing, which was technology challenges for you. And I'm sitting here thinking about, I just held a major event where I hosted quite a few people online, and I was the container and the space and the setup for the whole event, along with a friend of mine. And I wanted to just like scream because I lost power right before the event. Now, how do you lose power right before the event? And you're supposed to be the person who's online for a few hours and sit there with a smile on your face and go, I got to get through this, please, please, please. And then as I was able to mitigate that circumstance, I don't know that I did it with the most calmest of natures. I'm going to be truthful. I was panicking in the background, but I had to get on with a smile on my face. And, you know, with that comes the challenges of the internet. And then so I'm having my phone hotspot. And so it's like, okay, no problem. My phone's hotspotting. Then all of a sudden I get that power almost out on my phone. I'm like, what are they talking about? I was able to hotspot it. I have a battery backup. And my phone port would not act right. It would not receive the actual charge. So there I am holding my phone. I have 2% battery power, 1% battery power. The event needed to go on for at least 15, 20 more minutes longer. And I'm praying, I'm saying, Spirit, please don't knock me off my own program, please.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay, I can do this, I can do this. And for some reason, the phone caught power and went up to a whopping 4% and got me through the next 10 to 15 minutes. And then I was able to just, I, the stress in kind was ridiculous, okay? And then I look back at that and I was like, I had to laugh because how would I grow through that situation? Well, first of all, my attitude could have been totally better. Totally better if I had just taken calm. And the bottom line is, you know what? What happens happens. Internet connections happen. Internet disconnections happen all the time. You know, come to peace. You know, I don't know. I'm still working through how to have grown through that better. But those things happen. They happen. What are you gonna do? You have to surrender it and just go, okay, you know what? Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm doing the best that I can. I've navigated through the scenario. And then when I look back, was there anything that I could have done better? I don't know that there was. I kind of, you know, borrowed 4 plugs from my neighbor next door, and I was able to plug in, 3 things out of the 4 plugs. Only 3 of them worked. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And but I got through it, and that was the key, is that I did get through it.
Yes. Yes.
I did get through it. And so the next day I was prepared. Everything was fully charged. Everything was 100%. Don't go the lesson is coming to me right now. Don't go into things half baked, half prepared. Go into things where you've taken the time to fully prepare for them and fully prepare for what's going to take place or what potentially could take place. Anticipate the worst case scenario, and then just have a protocol that you can fall back on if the worst case scenario happens. And now I've learned that lesson.
And that's the growing through what you go through, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like you plugged into, when you said that prayer, you plugged into the main source of power, right?
You know it. 2%. I was talking to the main source of power saying, please help me, please.
Right, right. Yeah, I totally get it. And there's some other ways that we have the opportunity to grow through what we go through. I was in a chat room, and I was in this room with all of these very high powered, I would say is a word that I could use, but rather I would say women who were well versed in being extremely confident and knowledgeable about what they bring to the world. And obviously both of us know what we bring to the world, but when I was in this chat room, they were able to really articulate it so well. And I noticed that I wasn't able to articulate it that well. So over the past few times that I've been in this chat room, I've been able to grow through that experience of feeling I don't really know how to articulate exactly what Bukeka is. And one of the things that one of the participants suggested, what is it that people experience when they're with you? What do they feel? When you look out into the audience, what are their faces telling you? What is your heart feeling at that moment? And I said, I believe that the power of my voice moves hearts and touches souls and just sends out this really positive vibe. And she said, that's it. That's where you are. And everything else is an addition or pretty much the icing on the cake. But having had that moment of growing through that experience of really feeling inadequate in a sense, right? Feeling like I can't say who I am. I can't really express it. And yet that ability to grow through that has now enabled me to do some wonderful things. I can share with people messaging that says, wow, I really want to work with her even more. I really love what she does on stage, but now she's presenting her something that I really want to even be more connected to in a more intimate way or a more personal one-on-one way. So that experience of growing, of becoming more aware of who you are, becoming more aware of how you connect with people is also an experience of growing. And so I was growing through what I was going through, and that going through was, who am I really? What am I doing?
Well, I'm listening to you, and I think that there's a difference between who you are and what you do and how well you do it. And you do such a great number of things so well and so beautifully. I could understand why it's hard to answer that question, because who we are, isn't what we do, and what we love isn't always what we do, So yeah, that's not an easy one. Because if I sit there, I am a person who is like a Jane of all trades. I don't want to say jack of all trades. I'm not a man. I'm a Jane of all trades. In other words, I do a lot of things and I do a lot of things well. I may not be an expert in any one of those things, but I do a lot of things well. And I love doing a lot of various things because knowing myself, I get bored easy. So therefore, I have a very expansive viewpoint and a very expansive skill set in terms of the things that I like to do that range from sports or activities or hobbies or just plainly the things that I like to do. And it's a tough question. Who am I? You know, it's a question. You know, it's a tough question on what do I like to do. There are many things that I like to do, and you know, it's hard to sum it up in 5 minutes. So my hat's off to you to be able to do that, to pick the one thing that drives you the most. I don't know that I can automatically, you know?
Well, I love that it was phrased in such a way as when, what is the experience? And you're so attuned with the aspect of noticing. I mean, you really are so in tune with the aspect of noticing your surroundings, how your how people are receiving the information that you're giving. You know, you're really a master at that. And so it is hard to say what you do, but when you start to grow through that experience of going through, well, who am I, where are my gifts, and how do I express them, you will find, I believe, that when you sit in that question, you're gonna see an amazing, you're just gonna know how to basically express that, I believe, because people will tell you, amazing, you're amazing, Enolia, we love you.
Oh, please, please. I'm still growing through that one because people do it all the time. And sometimes what happens is that I don't know what I want or how to express it because it changes all the time. And maybe that's it, you know? And so as we grow through things that we know we have to go through, I think that one of the key things is to know yourself well enough that when you ask that simple question, why can't I answer that question? Or why am I having problems growing through it? Or why am I having problems going through it? To know yourself too really well is to say, okay, change is taking place. Do I accept change easily? And is that why I'm having problems understanding or going through this and growing through this?
Yeah.
You know, or do I accept change so easily that I can't understand why people are having such hard time with the changes that are taking place? And come on, let's get on board. What's the problem? What's the big deal? Blah 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 blah. And then our impatience becomes a factor,
Yeah.
or you know, all of the different things we do. You're right. I am a noticer. I look at things differently, I guess, because we have to grow through so much, and life is nothing but a series of changes and everything that we have to navigate through and that we have to grow through, and it's ever happening. It's always happening.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm ranting
Yeah.
now.
Well, it's a big topic, for several weeks I was with my father helping him move from the state of Michigan to the state of Texas. And if anybody is unaware as to how far that distance is, just look it up in Google and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh," right? And so but it really put me in a position to learn so much about him, the things that he had to go through over the course of his lifetime. He's now 87, and he has been a civil rights leader, or is a civil rights leader. He is a professor of sociology, and so I read the letters that people wrote to him from different universities. I read the reviews from some of his students who either loved him immensely or could not stand him at all, And I thought about, as I was reading some of this information, the dates that were on those letters and where we were as a family at that time, and what it must have been like to get a letter from someone that really had a real aversion to what he was doing and threatening him, and what it must have been like to be a father with this 9-year old getting this postcard in the mail, and the fact that he had to really grow through that experience that he was going through at the time. And then when that leads me to the aspect of we're not going through things by ourselves. You know, we are going through a lot as a humanity. We're going through a lot as women. We're going through a lot as a people. And so, how do we grow through those experiences? How have we seen our ancestors grow through those experiences? And what can we learn from that?
So, one of the things that you said that really, really stands out to me the most is that we're not doing it alone. We have to work together. I just heard a phenomenal speech by a young woman named Crystal Gunn. And her speech is whatever we do, we have to do it together. And I love this because throughout society, we've always been taught to divide and conquer, to stand out individually, have that unique voice, blah, 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 blah. Everything is me, 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 me. But really, the power isn't in the me, the power is in the we. It just really is. And that's the key, because if we're going through stuff, isn't it better when you know that you're with a group of other people who are going through the same thing, and then you can talk about it, you can talk about the differences of what you're going through, you can talk about everything, everything under the sun, because you're all within the same circumstance. If you're trying to achieve something, 9 out of 10 with the billions of people in this world, somebody has done it also. And to be able to collaborate with somebody who's done it before, been through it before, glean the lessons learned from it already, why wouldn't you connect with somebody? The whole thing, and I'm taking Crystal's message, to the fullest extent of how she said it in the speech. Everything we do, we should be doing together. We should be doing it together. Community is everything. Community is everything. And whenever we have to face something, if we face it as a group versus facing it alone, it just makes it so much more palatable and so much more attainable in terms to glean the achievement that's being sought. So, you know what? That is a message that I love. It's not that it's the first time and I'm taking it to heart, but it's just emphasized with me right now. And I love that message. And I just want to say that for our studio audience, if you don't get anything out of this, when we grow through what we go through, realize that you don't have to do it alone. Realize that it is much easier doing it together with others who are on the same path, doing the similar thing, and trying to navigate the similar circumstances.
I agree totally. And for those individuals, like you said, who are out there trying to get things done by yourself, just know that there are tons of resources. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, there are resources and people that are available to help you grow through what you're going through. And feel free to comment and ask questions. What are you going through, audience? Who's out there? What are you going through right now? What do you need help growing through? So I think you can consider us part of your community, and we are here to support you in everything that you are growing and going through.
Absolutely. You know what? We're here, we're coaches. We go through and we help people grow through situations, circumstances, self all the time. So please do reach out to us, talk to us, and let us know what you think about this topic. It is something powerful to sit back, think about, and look at how you've grown, because this is another thing that we don't do, is we don't look back at how we've grown throughout our lives, that we grow every single day. The woman or the man that you were a week ago is no longer the same. as this week. So you've grown over a week. Are you reflecting? Are you checking it out? Are you noticing? So, yes. What would you give as your last tip to our studio audience, Bukeka?
I think the most important thing that you could pull from this particular episode is, again, to pay attention to where you are. If you are in an emotional state that you are not able to find your way out of, you need to sit back and give yourself a moment. You heard Enolia say that when she was going through all that technology issue, that she had to stop for just a moment and regroup. And that's what it takes a lot of times. Just stop the emotional roller coaster that you're on, and take a deep breath and realize that you do have the intelligence within you to grow through what you're going through. When you think about the fact that your body alone has has so much intelligence within it, and that it's in your body, you know, you don't have to tell your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, you don't have to do all those things. So you've got an amazing amount of intelligence and wherewithal within you. And so I would just invite anyone who's listening to tap into that, go into that which um, reminds you that you've got this, you've got this. And what would you
You're
say?
absolutely right. I love it. I love it. I love it. You are absolutely right. You've got this. And so I would basically say that reach deep within, know that you are courageous, step into your authentic voice, and trust yourself. And then do it. And you know what? We are imperfect beings. You may not do it flawlessly. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just realize that, okay, if this circumstance ever repeats itself, I know what to do. Meanwhile, you got through it. You did it. You know, you compliment the fact that you got through it and you did it. If you hurt anyone along the way, you can always double back and state your apologies and let them know you were stressed, you were this, you were that, whatever the case may be. But make it a point to not hurt anyone if it ever repeats itself again. And that's it. We're imperfect beings here living a human life. We got to do what we got to do. And we do it to the best of our ability.
And we're
So
not
I'd leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us again today for another episode of BE Empowered. We thank you so much for listening in. Feel free to comment, share, let us know where you're coming from in the world. And just know again that we are a community, a resource, and two people that love and appreciate you so much. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. And we'll see you next time. And we look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed the
Bye.
show.
Bye.
We look forward to bringing you more shows in the future. To learn more about our co-hosts, check out their websites, www.bukekastyle.com and www.enolia.live. Learn about their masterclasses for conscious transformation, their personal coaching, along with their international retreats and expeditions. Are you an entrepreneur looking for another line of income? Check out www.planetmarketing.com/Enolia and www.planetmarketing.com/bblakemore. We are here to transform your life. Thank you for listening.